What is the biggest issue Ran Carthon needs to fix as new Titans general manager, on the eve, the day before he is officially introduced as the Titans' new GM?
Well, let's go to the comments. Offensive line. Here we go on the string of offensive line. MB, Jake, David, Titans, Kyle. Let's say another offensive line. So offensive line from Maurice. Need a quarterback from Noah. Wilbur says lock up Big Jeff from Jeffrey Simmons. Cap situation from Steven. Offensive line right there. Another O-line, offensive coordinator and trainer. And we'll talk about trainer, talking about the health issues of this team the last couple of years a little bit later on in the show. Honky Talk says offensive coordinator, fixing the offensive line. Zach says offensive line. Deborah just says offense in general, draft picks and free agent signings, offensive line. A new identity from Jay, which is, I think that's a unique answer because, with a new identity, you have to have new players in the structure of what this team is. So that guy kind of goes hand in hand. Offensive line from Big Ten Jeff. Troy just says talent, and I definitely think Troy has something here because this team has had a talent problem. I've been yelling it from the rooftops since they traded A.J. Brown. It's like, what are you doing? Trading the most talented guy on your team and going to ride and die with rookies and Bobby Please. Bobby Weeds. Titans Titanium says offensive line, salary cap, then quarterback, skills player. So there's a ton of comments coming in. I was just reading, a handful. Austin, where do you reside?
Look, the offensive line is a massive issue, and there's no discrediting that. But I think the bigger issue that needs to be fixed first before you can even try to put together the offensive line is the salary cap. And the salary cap is a problem. The Titans currently, according to SpotTrack, have minus $27 million of salary cap space. And so you got to fix the offensive line. Well, how many offensive line positions do you need to replace? 4? I mean, Nicholas Petit-Frere is going to be a part of it at some point.
We don't know what's going on with Ben Jones.
Right. NPF will be a part of the offensive line to some extent. I don't know, left, right, whatever. But I think NPF will be around as a rookie who started a lot of games as a third-round draft pick, but a bad offensive line. And he had a lot of issues there too. So you got 4 positions you need to fix on the O-line, and you've got minus $27 million of cap space. And so you've got to fix the salary cap to be able to fix your actual roster problems, because so many guys were eating up salary cap dollars that missed a lot of games last year. You look at cap hits of key injured players. I'm trying to refresh what I've got going on here, but you've got Bud Dupree, Taylor Lewan, and Zach Cunningham, who spent the majority of the season injured, who counted like $30+ million of salary cap space and didn't give you diddly poo offensively or defensively. And so I think the salary cap problem is the biggest issue that Ran Carthon needs to fix. And there's a bunch of different ways he can do it. And I think I'm curious to see what his experience being a director of pro personnel and dealing with, pro scouting and free agent acquisitions and contracts and the waiver wire can help him with that. But they've got to clean up some of their veteran salary cap before they can really think about the solution for a lot of their problems. Because we can list problems all day, but you've got to fix the cap before you can figure out the solutions to the others.
I think that's a timeline fix, right? We know that they have to fix the cap, but we also have talked about what they're going to do. Like Taylor Lewan's ass is good as cut, right? There's a lot of money attached to him. You talk about Robert Woods' possibility of being cut. There's a lot of money attached to him. And then all of a sudden, you're now no longer under $27 million in the blink of an eye.
I did want to bring this up because I did see a comment coming in here from one of you guys, and I'm trying to Ken on Facebook says, unpopular opinion, Lewan survives the cut. The GM already, and so we don't know what the GM said. So I don't know where Ken is getting Ran Carthon's words of the GM said there's no need to totally rebuild the team because the GM hasn't talked to anybody there yet. But again, like to Ken's point on Lewan surviving the cut, Taylor Lewan would be $14 million on the salary cap as a starting left tackle. I understand what Lewan's situation is, but go look around the league and see what teams are paying and spending for big time left or right tackles. Both left and right tackles are well over on the left side, $20 million a year. And so $14 million for Taylor Lewan, again, knock on wood, like Mike Vrabel did last week about Kevin Byard. If Lewan can stay healthy, then Lewan at $14 million is not a bad value, but that if Lewan can stay healthy is a massive if.
So here's my answer, because I'm going to go back and rehash the question. And I'm going to repeat, what's the biggest issue Ran Carthon needs to fix as new Titans general manager? It doesn't say what does he need to fix first.
Sure.
What's the first thing that he needs to do? It is, what is the biggest issue?
Yeah.
The biggest issue is the quarterback position, because it's preventing the team from getting and competing with the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Bills. You guys are going to get sick and effing tired of me saying those three teams over the next year, because that's who your competition is. And if you can't compete with them, you're not winning the AFC. You're not going to the Super Bowl. You're not competing to hoist a Vince Lombardi trophy, and that's what you're trying to do. That's the goal. Sure. So they've got to fix their quarterback situation. Ryan Tannehill is good. He's not great. He's not it. He cannot take you to where you need to go. They need to fix that situation, whether it is trading him, cutting him, restructuring and then trading him, going in and trading for Aaron Rodgers, signing and trading up to draft a young quarterback, and keeping Ryan Tannehill for the last year of his contract. I'm not saying that they need to completely rid themselves of Ryan Tannehill right now.
Yeah.
But if they keep him, they have to have a plan to replace him.
Sure.
That's the biggest issue that Ran Carthon will have in this organization. It has been holding them back. The quarterback position is the most important position in team sport. And the Titans don't have an adequate quarterback to take them to the promised land. They can't compete in big-time games. They haven't competed the last 3 seasons in big-time games because of their quarterback.